So I'm assuming for some reason the camera is zoomed in like this. I don't know. I don't care. What I'm about to say, and I did absolutely no research. Normally, I at least do like a little bit of research before I make a video, um, like this or something. But today, it kind of fell on me. Uh, in 2015, I watched a show called The Hotel Cortez from American Horror Story, where I discovered this character. I think her name is Arlene Wuornos, Aileen Wuornos, or let me see. Yeah, Aileen Wuornos. And as soon as I seen it, I knew she was innocent. I did personal research into the story, and this was long before I knew I was a targeted individual. And I must say, the realization that she actually is innocent and she was telling the truth, like 10 years later, it's a powerful revelation because I looked into her eyes and I looked into her spirit, and at that time I didn't know what the spirit of discernment was. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know how powerful I was. I didn't know what why they targeted people or what high vibration was. I didn't know. It was 10 years ago. Lord, I think I was 19 or 18 or whatever. I can't remember. All I know is, yeah, like 19 going on 20 or something. I don't know. But one thing I did know is I knew she was innocent. And she was. She actually was. So I'm starting to think that the reason they got rid of the death penalty is because I watched like that 7-minute interview of hers that she left, and all she did was leave facts. The sonic blast, the turning the volume up, the hearing voices, the gang stalking, the reason she killed the man, because she killed 7 men. And then the lawyer was asking her, he was like, "You killed 7 men. Like, how does that make you?" If it was me, and this was my last interview, I would literally leave all of the information. I would leave no stone unturned, knowing every single thing I know about the what our 3-letter organizations working in the United States are doing. She said her first murder, she was clumsy. She purposely left fingerprints that the sheriffs did not even investigate, but they actually did because they were already prior to that, prior to all her murders. I think 2003 to 2007 or whatever. I can't remember. But prior to all of her murders, she said she was a targeted individual from. She didn't say targeted individual. She said she was followed. She was targeted, whatever, since 1997. So it's crazy because everything she said, from the helicopters flying over her house to the sheriffs to the 3-letter organizations to all of these people harassing her, is the same thing that's happening to every single targeted individual. But some people don't go crazy. Some people actually chill out, sit back, listen, wait patiently. They build a system, create a system, and try to save other people, but that's neither here nor there. The it blows my mind that it's still happening, and I want to say it's over like 27 years later. It's 27 years later, almost 30 years later, and the story is still going. Now, in between that 30 years, how many people do you think that these 3-letter organizations have not only made money off of, profited off of, ruined their lives for entertainment, and have purposely unalived in just a 30-year time span. And then you have to understand that with the knowledge of James Tilly Matthews, this goes back 223 years ago. So now we got to ask the question, 223 years ago, between that time span, how many people have been unjustly vilified in the public eye due to brainwashing and psychotronic torture and harassment and covert harassment? We have to ask that question. So these are, I do not second guess myself when it comes to spirituality, but I knew she was innocent, just like I knew Myra May was innocent, just like I knew once you read the story of every single mass shooter, they all have one thing in common, a couple things in common, like I said in another video. They all blame them for having mental issues, and mental issues do not exist. And I'm going to stand firm on that. Mental issues don't exist. This system makes you have mental issues. The system makes you have mental disabilities. The system makes you have physical disabilities. The technology exists. They can alter your DNA. They can alter your mindset. They can alter your perception of reality if they want to. They can invade your thought process. So all of these mass shooters, they had, some of them didn't even have a criminal history. They had no criminal history whatsoever. They were just targeted, and it's always 6 months prior to a mass incident happening. They their health started declining. So we as targeted individuals know why our health starts declining. They they either go broke or go homeless. They're struggling. Then they write them off as angry, aggressive. This is their narrative. And then they say that they have schizophrenia. They were hearing voices. They complain to people about hearing voices. And then the incident happened. So let's just take like a mass shooting incident. The Las Vegas shooter in 2019. He went up to the roof, fired into a crowd. He wasn't aiming at anybody. He just started firing. I'm going to make another video on this. I'm going to break this story down from start to finish, because that is exactly what I did when I read the story. And I'm going to fill in the blanks that that three-letter organization left out. Once they got to his room, and he didn't die by them, he ended up unaliving himself. They said that, again, this is a man with no criminal history that lived in a school district, but had no criminal history, no prior internet history of any type of paraphernalia. Not paraphernalia, the other word for, I can't say the edified word, but that word, like the paraphernalia, edified word, the P-file word, they planted P-files on this man in just random laptops to cover up that he was a targeted individual, just like they did to Aileen Wuornos, just like they did to Myra May, just like they did, I'm pretty sure they did it to Ann Caspar. I'm pretty sure they do it to every single targeted individual. And I just want you guys to tell the story of every single, I'm in a position where they couldn't mentally break me. They couldn't really financially stop me. I lived under my means. When I do move out, I'm going to live under my means, because there's a higher objective. Today they had everyone wear green t-shirts, and this was my targeting situation for today. So Every single person came into the store and they were wearing green t-shirts. Almost every single person that was gang stalking me, they wore green t-shirts. They had the honey pots come in. They brought, they call it blast from the past. They brought somebody I slept with a couple of times 2 years ago. They brought that person, and then they brought a gang stalker I actually physically got into an altercation with in the store, where she put her hands on me and I wanted to put my hands back on her, but I just had this thing where I can't hit women, and I knew if I would have hit her, I would have hurt her. So I instead I had to call the sheriffs, and I think that was the first and last time I've called the sheriff in the store. Um, Other than that, yeah, it was. They had the honey pots, they had the green shirts, and the V2K wanted to go wild. But for some reason today, I talked to my spirits and I talked to my God, and I literally let all of it go. I can't focus on that. I have to focus on telling the truth and exposing the truth for every single targeted individual who didn't get to tell their truth. Like, she didn't get to tell her full truth to where the world would listen until the day before her execution. And this is Aileen Wuornos. I'm going to tag her picture. I'm going to tag her name. I always knew she was innocent. I swear to God. I put this on my soul. I always knew she was innocent. It's a few other people. I can't remember their name right now. But just the Virginia Tech shooter. I called the church. I spoke to the pastor, but I never got back to him. I wanted to, I was going to do like a thorough investigation, but reading through his files and the story that's left, I realized that he was hearing voices, another targeted individual. I had posted like a whole bunch of videos. Every single one of them was innocent. They were brainwashed and manipulated, and it's not even funny. But all in all, today was a good day. I made it through my day. I worked. I got my work done. I got my work done. Um, and that's it. Guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I might start like a little classroom session, whatever, whatever. Start teaching people stuff, more stuff, like, but interacting with people.